So today I would like to present one of these beautiful citrus fruit, and finally, after years of waiting, we found Yuzu fruits in the supermarket. We're in France, and these come from Japan. So the Yuzu fruit, it's an ancient citrus from China, but that's been imported in Japan, and they produce it massively because it's used for this perfume fragrance, very strong, for the seasoning, for the ponzu, which is a sauce. But in general, they use it. They don't eat it raw, but you use it as in ice creams, in pastries, in jams, marmalade, because of the zest. The fruit is the size of a mandarin. You can see this is a mandarin, it's a bit bigger. The skin is yellow and it's a bit bumpy, a bit irregular. And it has like a little bit of juice, but not so much, and a lot of seeds. It has huge seeds. And the characteristic of this beautiful fruit is that it keeps true to form. So it keeps the same quality as the parent if you plant the seeds. In around 10 years, they start to fruit. It can be a bit faster if you graft them, but it's amazing that you can plant this seed. That's what we're gonna do. That's why we bought these fruits, because we're gonna plant these to have some yuzu plants, some yuzu trees. But anyway, it is cold resistant to minus 15 degrees, which is insane. It's incredible. It's always better to plant it like close to a wall or like a bit protected from the winds, but we're gonna give it a try. So mostly it's used also the juice for sure, which is the taste is between a grapefruit, a lime, and a mandarin. It's quite acidic, but extremely fragrant. It's like perfume, and mostly it's used the zest. So this part here, without the white, and the juice. So in dishes with the fish, or as seasoning, or in jams, and etc. So it's very expensive per kilo, because it's not really eaten like raw, so not many people produce it, but it's a bit more of a rare thing. As many citrus trees, they become 4 or 5 meters tall, and it's very spiny. So this is a bit of a downside, but who cares? I just wanted to say that all this citrus come from fewer species. They are mostly hybrids, which means hybrids not in a laboratory, but they've been pollinated. So they've been cross-pollinated, and the seeds were planted, and those plants produce new fruits. For example, grapefruit. This is a beautiful pink grapefruit. It's actually the kid of a pomelo, a Chinese pomelo, which is not a hybrid, which is like a natural variety. It was found in nature like that, together with an orange, which is another hybrid. But these flowers were cross-pollinated, so something sweet as an orange and something a bit bitter as a pomelo, they made a beautiful kid, which is the grapefruit. This is really incredible. And this, a tangerolo, it's the mix of a tangelo with a pomelo. That's why tangelolo. So it's very interesting that we are not finished. Like, we can find varieties all the time. Find out new varieties that are cold resistance or disease resistance, and with the perfume or the taste that we like. Here we have, for example, bergamot, bergamot I think in English, and citron, cedra in French, or cedro in Italian, and they are both used not for the juices, but they're for their zest and for their rind. This, for example, the cedra was used for, citron was used for candied rind, and this, the bergamot, was used for to perfume Earl Greys, for example, for candles. So it's very interesting. Many fruits are not only used just for eating them raw as they are, but they can be used in different ways. Some citrus, they use only the leaves, like kombawa. It's very fragrant, the leaf especially, not the fruit. So the leaves are used in the kitchen and in the cooking process. Really big albedo, like the big white skin. Should have it really, yeah.
Wow, so many seeds.
So beautiful. So yeah, the citron has this Citrus medica, I think it's called in Latin, has a really big rind. That's why it's also used for canning, because we have quite some meat to use. And it has many seeds that we can plant. But it's also very sensitive to cold. I think this one is around -5, -8. So
Okay.
it's not grown everywhere in along the Mediterranean and in south of Italy.
Okay.
So the pomelo, it's also like grown only from zone 9 to 11, so it wouldn't work here. And it comes straight from China, so it is also slightly colored, a little bit pinkish, and the pomelo has a mild grapefruit taste. It's not so bitter as grapefruit, but it's more meaty and less juicy. It's more dry, let's say.